Hey guys, how you doing? Let me send a message to Christina.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, Salim. How are you? Error correction. Hello, Jesse. Or Vivian.
Hi.
How was your oh, you had the visit, right?
Yeah. And the 2 weekends, the past. And the past weekend, have the work. I don't connect in the class, sorry.
So you worked. What do you do for work?
I don't know to say it. Cremería. Una cremería.
No, well, there is no actually word for cremeria. Cream store, no, no, it's not really that. It doesn't exist a word like that. But it's like grocery store, most likely.
Or sister, but is the was.
So your family
It
owns.
is- Sorry.
Your family has a cremeria.
No, the other persons, but I work in sometimes.
Okay.
But the 15th September, necessary the person and have the work.
I know you don't celebrate, so you
Yeah.
take advantage of that. That's pretty cool. All righty. Good. So today's class, we have Jared. Everybody knows Jared. He's the one that schedules the agenda, no, from students. So that's the face. That's the face of Jared.
Hello, teacher. Hello, everyone.
He does good. He's actually 100% the federal product. So it's pretty cool. He's been an student for more than a year, actually. Excellent. Okay.
Teacher.
Yes.
I can be in your class only 1 hour. Today is my meeting at 7 o'clock.
Don't go to the meeting, hombre. Pues. Give me 1 second. Somebody's knocking on the door.
Yes, teacher.
Sorry. Okay, that's the problem with you have 5 dogs. Yeah, it's okay, Alan. It's okay, Jared. I understand you can see the recorded class. Okay, so today's class is about Yes. It's a very interesting topic. Actually, ¿dónde está? Here. Actually, Salem asked for it last week or 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago. And it's actually pretty interesting class. And this has to do with how to correct our students. See, our students or everybody in the world needs to make mistakes, needs to make errors, okay, in order to learn. That's why a person that is a perfectionist is difficult to teach and difficult to learn, because that person has to be perfect according to his or her view. The reality is that even though we are almost perfect and extremely sexy, we're not really. I mean, we're imperfect, right? So we make mistakes. So same thing happens in the classroom. Our students don't have, Kika, our students are not perfect, okay? And they need to know that. They need to make mistakes. So today's class is about that, all right? Error correction, okay. So basically we have 3 squares, right? Wait a minute. Sorry about that. This is my rescue dog. Rescue. Ya está agarrando confianza, pero bueno. So we have here 3 squares, right? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 1 says what, Harriet?
When should we correct?
And this is a very important question. Sometimes we shouldn't correct. And we're going to discuss that during the class. Sometimes we as a teachers, see, parentheses, as a teachers, and this is something that we have in our nature. As a teacher, you always want to correct. Always. When you have, when you see something that is incorrect, you say, hey, stupid. It's not like that. Don't be stupid. It's like this, right? It's a nature. But sometimes there is no necessity to correct. Sometimes we do. So when we have to correct, the number 2 square says what, Vivian?
How should we correct?
How should we correct? And then number 3 is the, ¿cómo te llamas? Nada, es cierto. ¿Salen?
Integration after correcting.
So you have to give a feedback, right? Okay, so before moving on, this is very important. Mistakes are good things. Students need to know that they exist and they are. Okay? Now, it's very important to mention that in English, these 2 words are different. Error is different than a mistake. Can you read point number 1, Salem?
An error reflects the competence of the learner, whereas a mistake refers to a performance error that is either a random guess or a slip.
Good. And what is an error? Okay, an error says that refers performance or competence, the error. Performance and competence. Competence is different. I'll give an example. Salem, can you tell me 20 artifacts that astronauts use in the space?
A suit, a special suit. A helmet.
Okay.
They tried it. I don't know how to say that. Food. Comida deshidratada.
Dehydrated food, yes.
Hydrated food.
That's 2. You're missing 18. See what happened? See what's happening? Salem doesn't know. So she's going to make an error because she doesn't know. See the difference? So if I'm having this class, if I ask Salem, give me the 20 artifacts in the space, and if she doesn't know, she's not going to tell me the correct one, right? Entonces, ¿por qué la regaño? No debería regañarla. That's an error. Where a mistake is something that Salem knows, but she made a mistake. I give an example. Salem says, I am a teacher. ¿Es correcto o incorrect? Vivian?
Correct?
It's incorrect, obviously. But Salem knows. So she corrects, she can be corrected. See the difference? An error cannot be corrected because it's a competence. She doesn't know, or the person doesn't know. A mistake can be corrected because the person knows and she just made a mistake. See the difference? Okay. Y a lo mejor Salem says, duh, it's very obvious, teacher, duh. But believe me, teachers, and you 3 are English, you were student English students. Sometimes teachers forget that. Sometimes, and listen to me, because don't do that, is teachers assume the students know. And ella sí sabe, ¿no? Llega el Kool-Aid teacher. A ver, chavos, en the whiteboard, I don't know, present perfect. Okay? Present perfect. Y ya se voltean. Do you know what present perfect is? Y todos los chavos, no, pues no. Ay, te equivocaste, saliendo. Pues sí, pues no, she doesn't know. But you know what? Teachers forget that for some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, students, or excuse me, teachers forget that students are students. So always remember that premise, teachers. The students are, ¿qué, Jared?
Students are what? Sorry.
Students. The students are students. Very obvious, but don't forget that. They're not the teachers. They're not, they don't know it all. They are there to learn, okay? So let's focus on the mistakes. Let's say that you have taught a class and then they have to practice and then make a mistake. Then we need to correct, okay? Am I going too fast? Oh, it's okay. Okay, good. I'm gonna play a video. Please listen to this guy. He's a very good teacher. And just let me open it. Drive. Okay, team. Yes, TTP. Error correction. Okay.
Hello, my name is Stephen Story from MadridTeacher.com, and I'm going to talk a little bit about error correction.
Can you see my screen?
Hello, my name is
Can you
Stephen
listen?
Story from MadridTeacher.com, and I'm going to talk a little bit about error correction techniques that you can use in a classroom with English students. The aim of these error correction techniques is to get the students to self-correct, to notice their errors or to remind them of their errors, and sometimes to teach them about what they're doing wrong. Okay? They might make 5, 6 errors in the same sentence, so you always have to make a decision, you know, how many errors to correct, or whether to correct all of them. Okay? You might have, for example, in a sentence like, "Oh, Pablo, what'd you do this weekend?" "Dinner with your wife." Well, you have, you know, they might say dinner with your wife. Well, you have a pronunciation, your wife, and you might have a past simple error, Spanglish error, possessive adjective error, lack of a subject error, and you have to work your way through these if you want to correct all of them. Okay, you might just come out and you reformulate. You know, no, you had dinner with your wife, and you can do this for the other students in the class, or you can do it for the student. He'll notice the mistakes if he usually makes these mistakes. You can overreact with whose wife? With my wife. It's a bit of humor for the student. You can decide not to understand. You can say, "Excuse me, what?" Give him a look. You know, ask him to repeat. You know. If it's an ingrained error, you can say, you know, stretch the sentence out a bit. I think it needs to be longer. Okay. If there's a third person error, not in this case, you might say, "Hey, third person S." Okay. To overdo it, you know, she go to the disco every Friday. She goes. Okay. You might repeat the sentence up to the point that you want them to correct. You know, so. Dinner with wife, dinner with dinner with, you know, something like this. You can use your fingers, finger counting. Dinner with wife, you know, what's this? Possessive adjective. You can point out as possessive adjective. Dinner with my wife, okay, or your wife, my wife, whoever's wife. Well, then, you know, you can point out the Spanglish error. The Spanglish error is in Spanish, cené. Dinner is a verb, but in English it's not. So, or at least dine, you can dine, but not dinner. So, but what's the verb that goes with dinner? Have dinner, or have dinner. But we're talking about the past, yeah? This gesture, the past, not the future, not the present. You know, use these little gestures to demonstrate what you want them to understand, or whatever. So, have dinner with. And the subject, I have dinner with. But the past, I had dinner with. Okay? And you work through these things. Okay? You might say something, "I went to the media market in my car," and the student says, "Oh, you're a car." Now, why is the student saying this? You know, you're not a car. You might say, "I am not a car, I'm a person." And give them a little humor and try to elicit the correct sentence, the correct structure. Well, I think the reason they're using this is because they're regressing to an easier grammar form, or easier structure, because they're not really comfortable, or they're not able to produce actively. They're not able to produce this present simple structure. So, okay, you are a car. You are a car, but it's a different verb. It's not are. It's you have a car. But what's the question? Do you need a subject? What's the subject? Or excuse me, what's the auxiliary? What's the auxiliary? Do you have a car? Okay, and this is how you can work through it. Okay. If there's a question word, what? Why do you have a car? So you have Aussie, auxiliary, subject, infinitive, auxiliary, do, subject, you, have, infinitive, or quasi, a question word. Do you have a car? Why do you have a car? Okay? They might say something like, "You are a teacher." Okay? And you get, "No. Are you? Or you say, "Are you," with the finger counting, "Are you teacher?" And they might say, "No, turn it around. Are you? You are." Or "You are teacher. And you get them to practice this infinitive thing. You elicit that because in Spanish, they don't use these articles. So you get them to practice them because they'll learn them and then they'll never use them until you practice them for a while. So you can drill this, you know. Are you pilot? Are you a pilot? Are you architect? Are you an architect? Engineer? Are you an engineer? And so on. They'll always say, like, not as big, not is not big. And what's the subject? It is not big. And you can drill. It's not, or it isn't, and you aren't, and you're not, and so on. Okay? There are a lot of pronunciation errors you can correct with this thing, you know? Germany, not Germany. It's my money. Obstacles, not obstacles, because in Spanish they say obstáculos. Okay? You can act it up a bit. You can say, oh, I'm really sad about my new job. And you can say, oh, you're really sad. You can act it up a bit. They say big, small, tall, short, tired. And they might say something like, my English is short. You can use a song that you've taught them in class, that you've used in class. I don't know much English. Dun, 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 dun. And you listed the song, I don't know much. Or they might say people is, and you say people are. People are people. The large road, no, largo. I said, no, the long and winding road. And don't be embarrassed by your poor singing skills, because I'm not, and they won't be if you learn something from it. They might say, in pronunciation, they might say coffee. I went to the coffee. It's cafe, A-E, cafe, cafe, not coffee, okay? And they might say Jew, no. It's you know. And, oh, it's very nice. Now, very, you have to demonstrate with your mouth, okay? There, no, there, okay, there. And what do you want to do? No. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? You practice this first, then you show them in writing, you know? Some things are major leagues errors. They might say they want some piles, because in Spanish it's pilas. They want some batteries, so they go to the shitty to buy some piles. That could be a real problem. Okay. Well, thank you for watching. And
Okay, so he said he mentioned some strategies, right? Can you tell me some of them? A ver, Salem, give me one.
For example, that make them repeat themselves, that to help them pinpoint their errors, and well, he made gestures with his hand, like make them count the words and repeat for them to find out what are wrong, where they are wrong.
Good, very good. Make them reflect and make them think about their error, or excuse me, their mistake. Excellent. Can you think another one, Vivian, Jared? What about the fingers?
He said that he used his fingers, his hands, to explain that when his students made mistakes, he explained with his fingers the structure of the sentences.
Very good. He used fingers, right? Ahora sí que show them the finger. No, this is too much. Don't repeat. What about you? Well, Vivian, any comment?
I think understand in the pronunciation. The example, the very, decía very, is incorrect, is the very, and the others works.
Good. And so he actually used several techniques. Now, we are going to discuss some techniques Okay, great. Some techniques to correct a person or a student, okay? Now, these techniques, teachers, are in a chronological order. Huh? We start with number one, number two, obviously. Number one, if the student doesn't correct, then we go to the second one. And if the student is still stupid, then we go to the next strategy. And if the student is still really, really stupid, we go to the next strategies, okay? Understand? All right. Let's go to the first one. Start with the question, what? Can you read it, Tejaret?
The student will immediately know there's something wrong with the statement he or she produced and will be open for help.
Very good. See, Juanito Perez says, I am a teacher. Entonces Salem says, what? Y así con los clientes, ¿no? What? So then Juanito Perez is like, primero le da un ataque, and then he's going to be like, what? And then something is wrong, so he will try to figure it out and realize what is the mistake. Continue, Jared.
Okay, at this point, you should wait for the student to correct himself or herself.
Good. Wait. I know it's difficult for teachers because teachers is like, sape and shut up, stupid, and repeat. Don't do that. Salem, you had a question or a comment.
In my last classes, I did not ask what I asked. Are you sure? Because they were doubting and they were like, and I asked them, are you sure? And they told me no. And they tried to correct it.
Very good. I mean, the equivalent of what, no? Are you sure? Really? Are you really sure? De veritas, de veritas? You can use different words. There's the same principle, right? Ask them to realize that there's a mistake. But guess what? Juanito Perez is still stupid. So he doesn't know. So we move to the next strategy, okay? And this is pinpoint error correction. Read it, Vivian, please.
If your student doesn't realize where the mistake is, try to guide him or her by repeating the statement yourself and stopping right before the missing word.
Example?
Students, I went shopping now. Teacher, I went shopping what or what?
Good, yes. Hold on a second. Sara García. Wait. Estoy haciendo unos pagos. Ajá. All right. So good. So check the example. I went shopping now. Teacher, I went shopping what, when? Primero what, no? Yeah, Juanito Perez is stupid, so we moved to the next strategy. And then you tell him where the mistake is. Hey, sorry. My secretary is lost in the space. Anyways, same example, Juanito Perez. I am an teacher. And Vivian says, what? Y Juanito Perez, what? He goes stupid, right? So then Vivian says, a ver, Juanito Perez, I am what? In what, teacher? So you tell her where the mistake is. Understand the strategy? But what if Juanito Pérez is still stupid? Y te contesta, ¿cómo, miss? Clásico, ¿no? Tipo así de, ¿cómo, miss? ¿Qué me dice, miss? So then we move to the next strategy. Use fingers. Show him the finger. Sorry, I shouldn't say this joke. Todos tan chiquitos aquí. Anyways, a ver, Salim, can you read this?
In the event that your student is still confusing, forgetting a certain word, order, or tense, use your fingers to show them the right syntax or missing extra word they need in their statement.
Good. Remember the video? Like Harold said, he showed the structure in the fingers, right? I am a or an teacher. And then you show him where the mistake is with the finger. Okay? Why is this important? Why do you think this is helpful? Salem, why do you think people will, it's pretty much the same as the last strategy. What is the difference, Salem?
That you gave them a multiple option?
Not really. It's not multiple option. It's just telling him where the mistake is with the finger. Because let me give you the answer. Most of the students are visual. So if you tell him word by word the fingers, they actually get the point faster. In other words, they will pay more attention to you. Okay, but guess what? Juanito Perez is still lost in the space, still stupid. So then, Kika, then we go to the multiple choice. But first, before that, parentheses, parentheses, pinpoint error correction and fingers antes, like 5 or no, todavía no, como 8 years ago or 5 years ago, there was another strategy in between. Lo tuvimos que quitar porque ya lo cambiaron las leyes, ¿ok? Y se llama peer correction, P-E-R correction. Google it. It exists. Peer correction. It says something that if you can ask a classmate to help the other classmate. Okay? Si Juanito Pérez is still stupid, a ver, y no falta la niña de pick me, yomis, ¿no? And, okay, a ver, Salem, la nerd, Salem, please correct. Okay? It's okay. Pero ya sabes cómo la nueva generación de cristal, perdón, son ustedes, ¿verdad? Sorry, I'll shut up. So, you know that it might be considered bullying. So we needed to erase it from the program. My suggestion is, if you know your students aguantan vara, that's okay. You know, it's actually a helpful part. But if not, avoid it. It does cause some sort of bullying, ¿no? Así, güey, mira, yo sí pude. O ya sabes, la típica niña, ¿no? O niño, no sabe mi, yo le contesto. Blah, blah, blah. So it's nowadays, children are mean. Okay, so, well, my day too, but it was a whole different strategy. Anyways, you can Google it. it exists, peer correction in the classroom, and it will be like 1 million different pages. Select one and read it, okay? Now, after these strategies, Juanito Perez is still stupid. So we go to the last two, and these last two are not recommendable, but they're valid in case you know, your students are lost. And the first one, the one before the last one is multiple choice. Provide multiple choice answer. Read it, had it, please.
This is an option for semi-modeling the right answer. Once you try the previous techniques and your students doesn't seem to self-correct, provide an easy logical multiple choice question to activate your students' memory.
Good. So example, student, I am an engineer. Pero he made a mistake. I am an engineer. Y entonces Jared says, what? Y luego no entendió, así que se va por el finger, no entendió. So se va por el where, when, what, no entendió. Y entonces ya se va por multiple choice, ¿no? The student, I am an engineer. Y Jared, I am a or an. Stupid. See the point? So you actually pretty much given them the answer. Okay. What if I mean, this is really extraordinary, but what if Juanito Perez wasn't paying attention and he still doesn't know? Then we go to the very last resource or strategy. And this is called model or modeling in other books. Can you read it, Vivian?
After you've gone through all of the correction techniques explained before, and your student still fails to understand his or her mistakes, provide a straightforward correction and have him iterate his words to the statements. Continues?
Good. And check it out. It continues saying, this should be your last resource. Sorry, resource está mal. Cámbienla y it's resource. This should be your last resource. Ejemplo, student, she work at home. And Vivian, what? The fingers, what, when, he or she, blah, blah, blah. And Juanito Perez, stupid. So Vivian is, she works at home, repeat. And this is modeling. In other words, Vivian is given the answer. Now teachers, parentheses. Why is this your last resource? Or why it should be your last resource or the last strategy? Why do you think is that? Salem?
Because your purpose is that they self-reflect and they are not doing that in here. They are not thinking, that you're repeating.
Good. What happens if you give them the answer? What would happen to the student if you just give them the answer? Do you think that the student will learn? No. Actually, that student will become lazy. Observen que la misma dice. ¿Salen?
But for example, when we're talking, when we are speaking, and I hope that they try to answer me with however they can, but they just stop and I don't know, they como que se paralizan y están and I try them to talk, but at the end they tell me I can't, I don't know. I don't know how to say that.
Okay, well, there are two reasons for that. Okay, Salim. Number one, if they know, if they are nervous, you can play with the other strategies, no? Give them the fingers, the flashcards, or you can even tell, remember this image, and we explain. See. Sometimes they just need to remember. Okay, give them hints. You understand the word? Clues, pistas, or what to say. Or number two, they really don't know. And if they really don't know, remember that's an error. It can be corrected. So you need to make sure that a student knows, or at least that the student actually be in the class, in the previous class. See what I mean? It could be the case that a person really doesn't know, right? And if that is the case, well, you need to teach them first.
Okay.
See? So just make sure, if the person knows and may be nervous or whatever, give them hints. Make them feel comfortable. A ver, si no te preocupes, Alan. A ver, respira conmigo. Inhala, exhala. Okay. Remember the class, blah, blah, blah. You give them some images and pictures, so you help them out to answer.
Okay, thank you.
No problemo. Okay. So again, this technique, modeling or to model, is your last resource. For some reason, in the mystery of humankind, teachers use this at first, for the first strategy. Why? Teachers tend to do that, especially old-time teachers, old-timers. Why do you think is a tendency? That I hope you never do that, but teachers tend to do that. Salem.
Because they are impatient.
Good, because they're impatient, because it's the easiest one. So, but pretty much what they are doing is shut up, stupid, or give you the answer. And don't do that. That's not teaching, okay? That's only, I don't even know what it is, but it's just wasting time. All right? Okay, conclusions. Some teachers correct every mistake. Other teachers rarely or never correct the student's mistake. Both approaches are serious weaknesses. Why? Continue, Salem, reading.
The first one leads to students' nervousness, and as a consequence, lack of fluency. The second one leads to students to speak, but whose English is hard to understand.
Good. So the first one, if the teacher is correcting and así bien picky and very hard and very always angry, the student will feel nervous all the time. ¿Y qué va a pasar? Pues mejor no contesto. That's a normal reaction, right? And do you think that the student will actually learn English? No.
No, and you're attacking their self-esteem too.
Exactly. You might need therapy, right? Or there is another type of student that is always too confident and the teacher never corrected them, and they speak English in a very, very funny way. I know a teacher like that, or a student like that, and she thinks that she speaks like a native, like a gringo. It's really funny. I mean, I admire her self-esteem, really. But I'm like, oh my Lord in heaven, what is she saying? Anyways, that's pretty cool. So, but both extremes are not correct, right? We need to find a balance. So, what is the balance in this case? Jared, point number one, read it, please.
When a student makes a mistake, it's usually counterproductive to say, no, that's wrong. Are you serious? How long did you say you've been studying English? Teacher.
Etc.
Yes, teacher.
What?
Sorry, it's very late for me. But
Okay, no,
thank you
no.
for the.
Antes de que te vayas, selfie, ya te seguimos.
Okay.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Continue watching the class in the YouTube, Jared. Well, I think he's gone. Anyways.
Yes, teacher.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. See you, everyone.
Okay, so point number one, it's very important to be polite teachers. Even though we want to say you're very stupid, don't do that, okay? Don't say that. And these answers that I wrote are real answers that I actually have heard from teachers. Así de, are you serious? O sea, así de neta, ¿contestaste eso? ¿Con todo dices que estás estudiando inglés? Don't do that, okay? That's mean. It has to do with self-esteem, like Salem said. It's often kinder to say, not bad, nearly, good try, that's an interesting mistake, good effort, I appreciate your effort, and so forth, no? Words that change the sentence to a positive sentence. Good. Number 2, Vivian.
Some say that you should allow a student mistake, but if something breaks the mistake table and make linguists risk and disaster unacceptable parts of the classroom culture.
Good. So some people say that it's a taboo to laugh at a mistake. No, don't do that. If you make your classroom relax, ¿sale? If you're relaxed and students, listen to me, are comfortable making mistakes, you have succeeded as a teacher. It's a beautiful thing to do because the students will actually feel comfortable to make a mistake and then learn. Okay? How do you make your class relax? Tricky question. Nala? I'll give you a clue. Vivian and Salem, do you speak English perfectly? No. No. I mean, I'm sure scholars in linguistics might almost nearly perfect speak English, but you and I don't. Right? So guess what? Salem and Vivian, we as a teachers, we are going to make mistakes. So if you make a mistake, what would you do to make your class, you as a teacher, if you as a teacher make a mistake, what would you do to make your classroom relax? Así de, cállense todos, me equivoqué, pero respétenme. Salem.
happened to me in my class in Monday. I was supposed to give the answer for an example, but at the end, because it was a game, I committed a mistake, and I just laughed at myself. I tried to laugh at myself and not and I think they done well. The students didn't feel like weird because they were participating. They were more participating than the other classes.
Yes, if you laugh at yourself, like you just said, the students feel relaxed, and the result, they will be more participating. I personally have a line, al slogan, no? Así de, you heard me, even though I'm, a ver, shut up. Even though I'm perfect and extremely sexy, I made mistakes. Everybody laughs and, you know, everybody's comfortable with, okay? So yes, do that, teachers. When students feel comfortable with make a mistake, then your class is much, much refreshed. Okay, next one, Salim, yes, Salim. Whoa, wait, I don't know what happened here. Oh, sin la canción. No, well, yes. Number 3, Salim.
The ability to correct themselves when they make a mistake is an important one for students to develop. Encourage it and give them time to correct themselves.
Good. Very important. Give them time to correct themselves. Okay, next one is the Vivian.
This one?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Once they've done the correction, have to repeat the statements again in order to integrate their correction to their learning process. This last step is very important.
You give them time, they correct themselves, and then you say repeat the sentence or repeat the word, whatever the case is, okay? So they can actually practice and register in their mind and learn. Next one, Salim.
It's much better for the students if they get into the habit of listening to themselves when they are speaking and correct themselves as they go along. Obviously, they won't be able to correct all the mistakes they make, but they will be able to correct a lot of them.
Back when I start, this is very good, eh? If they can listen to themselves, like recording, it's very good. They actually learn better. Back in my day, it was difficult. You need a tape recorder, and now it's very easy with the WhatsApp. Ask them to record themselves in an audio. I had a teacher that he had audios for all the students. So, a ver, Juanito, mándame al chat el audio. Y listen to yourself. And it's very, very useful. Okay? Students would listen and actually will learn. And they actually will learn from the pronunciation too. They will learn the accent and the pronunciation, right? Use WhatsApp or notas de voz de su celular. Everyone has a smartphone now. Some years ago it was difficult, but now it's very, very easy and cheap. It's free. And finally, ¿quiénes salen? No, Vivian.
As far as possible, correct mistake
Anonymously. Mhm.
The students be making notes of students' mistakes as you monitor the putting them on the board later. Depends on the type of drills.
The type of drill, good. So if you can give feedback after the correction to everybody, but don't say the name. So then everybody can benefit from the correction. In other words, if one student has that mistake, it's very possible that many have it. See what I mean? So if you remember to everybody the correction, it might be beneficial for them. Okay? See, Salim?
Teacher, for example, the video that you sent about talking about past tense, that many have problems, it's because they confuse or they don't pronounce well regular verbs. The the ending, the ed. Yeah. Well, I try to remind to remind them that, but it is correct that I did do it in the middle of I do it at the ending. At the end.
It does, well, it depends on your class. If your class is flowing, understand that? It's moving around, don't interrupt it, do it. And then at the end, you do a recycling activity.
Okay.
If you think that is appropriate to include it in the middle, that's fine. But it depends on the class, no? Some classes and some groups are slower than others. You will see that some students, some groups are like blah blah, right? So
yeah,
but some others are faster and more participative, and so then don't interrupt the class. Continue with the flow, and then when you finish, well, then you include the. But yes, thank you for doing that. We were doing the oral examinations, and they're really bad in past simple. But anyways, but I think it's normal because of they need to learn all the regular and the irregular verbs. But I mean, they need to practice English.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. Okay, very good. Homework. Well, en tu caso, Jesse, no, you don't have you don't have class. But okay, don't worry. No, but you are still you're still a student, right? Taking C4 classes. Oh yeah, not anymore. No, you still, right?
Still, yeah.
Okay, so in your next C4 class, you're going to pay attention to correct a student. I'll give you an example. When you go into C4, you send me a WhatsApp. Super teacher Gerson, I'm in C4. So I log into the class and I will tell the teacher that you will be his helper. And you pay attention, and when a student make a mistake, then you do the strategies. ¿Sí de homework?
Yeah. Ay, se me fue la palabra.
Agárrala, córrele. No te pongas nerviosa, tic-tac, tic-tac, tic-tac. I'm sorry, I'm just picking on you. Don't worry about it.
Ay,
A ver cómo se llama tu
me
crush.
fue en las dos en español ya.
A ver cómo se llama tu crush.
No tengo.
Ay, no le pensaste, no.
No lo pensé. Perfect student, yeah. I remember.
Okay, all right.
The still?
Yes, you're still a student, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when the next class that you log in, you send me a message. Teacher, estoy en in the class, and I will tell the teacher that you will be his or her helper for correcting students.
Okay.
All right, cool. Salem, same homework, but you're the teacher, so now practice these techniques, and then you report to the class next week. Okay, you say, I did it in, digo, no necesito detalles, but the student made this mistake and I corrected this way, and this is the result.
Okay. I'm gonna practice tomorrow because tomorrow is my class.
Good, good, excellent, perfect. Thank you very much. Let's call it a day. And any pendings? No. Okay. Cristina has been sick. She's in the doctor right now, and so we say hello to you, Cristina, when you see the video, and get well. My wife is better. Resultó que no era COVID, era una infección fuerte en el estómago, pero sí fuerte. Pero bueno, she's stable now. Sorry, last Tuesday she had fever. It was a very interesting day. Anywho, thank you very much. It was very nice to see you. Have a great day, a nice weekend. Party a lot, travel a lot, rest a lot, etc. Drink water, Salem. ¿Cómo es mal pensada? Sheesh.
Yeah, drink water.
Ah, bueno. Thank you
No,
very much, guys.
I laugh because I don't like to party though.
You don't like to party?
Well, not that much. I get tired. I get burned out after a social gathering.
Oh my Lord, you're young. ¿Qué tienes? 21, ¿no? ¿Cuántos tienes?
No, 25.
Oh yeah, you're long younger. But still, at your age, yo sí, no, hombre. 2-3 parties a weekend, mínimo.
Well, it's because you're kind of extrovert. I'm not.
Oh, I'm an expert. Oh, no sé si enojarme o sonreír, but that's okay. That's okay. No, I mean, bueno, let me paraphrase, Salem. Have a nice weekend. Watch a lot of Netflix.
Yeah.
And you're back. See, sounds better. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
teacher.
guys. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Take
teacher.
a look.
See you.
Say bye, chiquita.
Greetings to your wife.